We're meeting in part to commemorate the 25th anniversary of a ghastly crime. In the summer of 1988 and into the fall of that year, as you've heard, some 30,000 Iranians were slaughtered by the Khomeini regime. Khomeini regime whose spiritual and political successors still rule today in the still unhappy land of Iran. At that time, the Ayatollah Khomeini issued fatwas condemning all of those who claimed to be political and religious opponents of the regime, including members of MEK PMOI. In fact, upwards of 90% of those who lost their lives among those 30,000, those whose lives were taken from them, those who were killed, were members of MEK. Now, I said that we're here in part to commemorate that awful event, and I insist, and you should insist, that it be only in part, because we do not want MEK to be known simply as people who have become victims of tyranny. We want you to be known as people who stand up to tyranny, as people who stand for and are a powerful voice for regime change in Iran, people who stand for and are seeking to bring into existence Mrs. Rajavi's 10-point program for regime change in Iran, which includes installing a democratic, secular, Republican form of government, a government that does not have aspirations or intentions of developing nuclear weapons, a government that guarantees equal rights for women. But we can't be in that position unless and until the members of MEK who are now trapped in a camp that bears the cruelly inappropriate name of Camp Liberty are secure and rescued from their perilous situation. In 2003, when the United States invaded Iraq, our armed forces disarmed the MEK members who were living in Camp Ashraf and did so peacefully, and in return gave a written guarantee signed by an American general that those residents would be treated as protected persons under the Geneva Convention. That word has not been kept. Today, the residents of Camp Liberty who moved from Ashraf at the insistence of both the UN and the U.S. government are in a desperate situation. The needed protective barricades, as you've seen, have been removed and not restored. They live in flimsy shelters and have already been the target of 3 attacks by people clearly acting with the cooperation of the Maliki government. Instead of making it clear with action that this won't be tolerated, the United States has dithered, with State Department officials holding one meaningless meeting after another. Although the residents were promised that there would be frequent and robust oversight, that was the word, robust oversight, provided by diplomats from the U.S. Embassy. In fact, there has been no U.S. official who has visited Camp Liberty since April. Now, I'm going to do everything in my power to try to make certain that future meetings of MEK supporters will be for the purpose of figuring out how to achieve Mrs. Rajavi's program for the restoration of Iran. That has to be our goal. No more memorial meetings, only meetings for planning. Thank you very much.